So if you've ever heard of Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences and want to read into it, I would recommend this book, Intelligence Reframed by Howard Gardner. It's kind of like an updated, revised, expanded sequel to Frames of Mind, his first book on it. And this, he goes into adding more intelligences and theorizing other potential intelligences he could add, and overall it's just an updated version of Frames of Mind. Frames of Mind is now a bit outdated, though I will say I have not read that book. I've just read Intelligence Reframed. Now, when I first took a psychology class in high school, Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences really stood out to me. Like, that was my favorite part of the class. Just the idea, I mean, it made sense that you have the standard intelligence, but we know there's some people that are more intelligent than others in terms of spatial reasoning or mathematics or like interpersonal, intrapersonal conversation. They're just different talents that people excel at that you could argue constitutes a form of intelligence. Now, so when I heard about that, when I heard about like his original theory, I thought it was awesome, and I read his book on it, his book Intelligence Reframed. But then since then, over the last few years, I've read some other stuff. I've read what other people have been saying about it. And while I did like the book, and the book is an accurate, like it's by him, it's an accurate, updated version of the theory of multiple intelligences, it seems that the theory itself doesn't really hold up. As from this, again, this is from what I hear from other influential people and the other influential psychologists. They criticize it because there's not much empirical evidence behind it. It sounds nice, like it makes sense in and of itself, but when it comes to actual empirical evidence, that seems to much prefer the idea of a single intelligence, a G factor, like the G variable to represent like general intelligence. It seems to side with that much more. And I've been reading up since then on a few other things, a few other critiques of the book, and it seems to be the biggest critique is just one, lack of empirical evidence to really support his point, lack of the ability to say, okay, like give me a test, give me an algorithm that determines someone's level of intelligence in this area compared to this area. And people have been saying it's just not, while these things exist, like you can look and you can say some people are better at like spatial reasoning, some people are better at interpersonal communication, and just they're not intelligences. They don't qualify as an intelligence. It's more of an ability or a talent that doesn't rely on intelligence the same way as we think of intelligence now with the G factor and those things. So I thought it was a good book if you want to read into his theory, although as for the theory itself, it doesn't seem that great. It's self-consistent, but in terms of actual studies and evidence to test out people's intelligence, this idea of 8 different intelligences doesn't really seem to hold up. We're talking about really a different definition here. So, but if you're a fan of Howard Gardner, if you're not a fan of Howard Gardner, but you've read up on his stuff, let me know what you think. If you've read any of his other books, let me know what you think about those. I've just read Intelligence Reframed, and I'm going to read some of his other stuff soon. And again, follow however you're following this on YouTube, BitChute, on iTunes. I'm on all those. I'll eventually come out with probably another one on one of his other books, and I'll let you know if I've changed my mind about that then. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.